Hello and welcome, my name is Sheep Thief and today I'll be coming at you with a replay Age of Mythology review. Today I will be playing Poseidon against P. Diddy, who's playing Hades. So since there's nothing to lure here, I just start out with the lure this time. It's the first game of the day. Getting some goats, this villager's kind of sitting around, just kind of waking up. Scout comes out here. So I know against Hades they often like to go 2 TC, kind of ramp up. With their sentinel power they can very much protect a town center. And I think that the raiding options, the slowing down options for Poseidon outweigh my ability to compete with that. So I'm moving around, pretty set on choosing Ares and going for a Cyclops swarm, kind of right off the bat. This map, let's take a look at it. Definitely some choke points with the water here. Decent amount of hunt with the elephants. But not massive herds, but definitely some hunt. You can delay getting farms. There's this sort of strange terrain in here, definitely wallable. And for my opponent, you know, it's a mirror, but there's a forward gold mine there, back gold mine there. Pretty much the same for me. Over here there's a bunch of stuff that we're both kind of far away from. And over here. One thing I have not been doing with the Greeks is getting relics. A group of monkeys will appear at your temple and respawn if killed. I want to get that. What's it called? Skulls of the Cyclopes. So there's a bit of a duel over goats over here. I'll go back to normal view. And I push around here. I've got an idea that he's somewhat over here. Heavy on the food because I think I have enough for a temple, but I completely forgot to make a temple. So I've like clicked up here and I think I'm going up very soon, but I'm like not because I forgot to make my temple. So pain. My opponent hasn't gotten Vault of Erebus yet, which is a pretty major gold trickle. I'm not quite sure why. He clicked up with theirs as well. He stalled out on villagers too. Housed. Okay, so he does go up. I am not housed, but I think I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go up right now. It's we're good. See, I even like drop it off, start adjusting, thinking that I'm already going up, but I'm not. Pull those out, put them onto gold, and then I realize, oh no. I need a temple. So I route 5 villagers onto it to get it up as fast as possible. And at this point, I'm not super distressed, even though this is terrible, because I'm just suspecting that Ares will, or that Hades will go up with 2 TC. So I actually have some time, and maybe getting a couple extra villagers will be beneficial. So you can see, I keep 1 on favor over here. I know I'm gonna need favor for the Cyclops, but it's a little awkward here. I get this wall right here just because it's so small. So he gets up like 60% faster than me, and I'm Poseidon. I should be up already like a long time ago. So that was a fail, but first game of the day. Heavy on the wood, and we actually kind of have extra wood because we're behind on this, so I get this wall up, and then get a house here. I think I would have liked to see a wall here. Right here is pretty easily wallable with my units. I should have seen that he went up with Ares and that therefore I could be more aggressive with the placement of my buildings. He gets Vault of Erebus, so that's going to be strong for him. Cyclops goes forward. I honestly like going up late felt way nicer because I can get my Jason and Cyclops moving forward, or sorry, Theseus and Cyclops moving forward. Yeah, again, the wall here would have been really nice, because then all of this is pretty much safe. But I did, yeah, if he's going up with Ares, he's probably not going to be raiding too hard. I check out his TC here. I'm assuming he's going to go for this TC, for the double TC, so at this point I take a bit of a double take. I try to menace the villagers here. He pulls them back, and pull back a little bit. Scout takes some hits, and I make the correct decision to check this, and I actually catch it right there, but he kills the scout, and so now it just looks like that TC is up, which demoralized me a little bit. I really didn't see where it was at, but he just started it right there. He's got the and then he puts the sentinels over here. Interesting decision. So I'm getting stables, and then I'm doing double stable this time because I see the two TCs, so he's gonna need food. So if I control him off of food, that'll be good. This TC is low, so I try to get the Cyclops onto the TC to start damaging it, but it's about to be up, so I'm just gonna try to get some damage in on a villager. And I kill his Cyclops, and his Hercules is going to kill my Cyclops, but I do pick off a villager with that Cyclops throw right there. I've got these two cavalry kind of in the vicinity, and you can see my resources are starting to pull ahead, I think largely due to the villager differential. I get the speed. I'm not quite sure why I get that. I think I just had some extra resources that I wanted to spend. And we fight this Hercules and are actually going to be able to pull it off. I start dodging the arrows with this horse, and then pull back. He does a nice quick wall there to make sure I don't get around on those vills. You can see here very close placement of the buildings near the TC. More cavalry is coming in, and I like to, I guess I'd call it a feint with cavalry. I like to, even though I'm going to Ares, I like to open up with cavalry. Number one, it's fast and you can get over to their side of the map and start menacing them, raiding. But it's also a bit of a fake out, because they will start to build. You can see he had two hoplites he just built right there, so he's going heavy into hoplites. He's getting watchtowers. And what I'm going to do is behind the sort of a 1-2 where the stable is like the jab, they make hoplites, which opens me up for making archers, which will counter the hoplites. So you can see full full Toxote archer production comes in. I get an armory up because Pierce resistance will be strong here, especially against Hades. And yeah, double hoplites for him. So probably what's going on in his brain right now is, let's take a look. He's probably like, I need food to support this double villager production. You can see he's out of food. He needs more on food. He needs less on wood and more on food in order to sustain this. And then he's walling up, which is more essentially idle time, which is good for me, but just too much on wood right here. He needs another food source. Or he's not going to be able to see. This is stalling out here, and his ability to make units is going to be greatly diminished. And now he's made the hoplites, which are countered by the archers, which I am now massing. So we've got a new Cyclops ready to go. He's still making hoplites, he can't see anything, and a second Cyclops. And this is the reason I'm making the Cyclops. This is purely just to batter down buildings. And so here we go. Hoplites show up, start going after the cavalry, and we get some nice shots off on them. I think here I start. Yeah, I guess I start just fighting. And I see just a massive amount of production coming out. Still too much on wood is his error that he's making here. He can't get anything out. I also think an archery range would be how he spends this money. Over here I'm getting a third Cyclops and the upgrade. Got a lot of villagers on on favor. Another reason to I do this is Poseidon is just because, you know, getting 20 favor honestly isn't that bad, and you can get another lure, which will help keep your villagers in your base if you need to. So 3 Cyclopses, he's getting a Cyclops too. He starts making some Toxotes. He's pulled ahead in villagers by 5, but we do have a bigger army. Toxotes continue to come out, upgrades coming in. What I'm missing, I think, is copper shields. I really needed that, and I think I forgot about it. So over here is, this is a good engagement for us. I do come over here and start to try to take out that, that base over there, and this is just perfect for us. He's kind of just retreating, and with that upgrade for the Toxotes, those are applying really well, even though he's moving. These cavalry are a little idle. Keeping the Toxotes coming. Yeah, so I just forgot about copper, or sort of wasn't thinking about copper shields and instead went for damage. Another thing I'm missing is simply the upgrade for the Toxotes, which I'm actually not sure how much it increases their stats, but at the very least it's sort of a morale thing. It's like, oh no, he has upgraded stuff. And yeah, just a perfect engagement for us right there. Like, those hoplites did essentially nothing, and just another battle on the retreat right here. And he does get some good damage there on the cavalry, but it lures them in, and it's honestly not the end of the world. And here my Toxotes are able to just fight under his as reinforcements trickle in. The cavalry is able to start doing damage onto this tower. I do want this tower to go down, but there's a lot of just arrows flying out of the Hades base in on my units, so it's not an amazing trade. You can see we're neck and neck. He's now 10 villagers ahead, so this advantage that he has is growing, and I really want to keep him tooth and nail, keep him in the classical age, because when he gets to the 3rd age, this advantage will balloon, and then also just in Age of Mythology, there's weird god powers that can be very unpredictable. I'm not really sure what Hades has. I think he has. Okay, so he gets the upgrade here, Enyo's Bow of Horror. But that should translate to just a numerical advantage to us. We now have 4. Where's that 5? We have 4 Cyclopses, so it's a decent amount of damage that we can do to buildings. You can see his the resources that he's floating are starting to kind of catch up here. He's getting housed, which is good for us. But we do have double the army size right now. We get the cavalry onto the back line, and this is actually pretty good for us because they're focusing on the Cyclops, which has quite a bit of health. Okay, pierce resistance, so gives us a good engagement here. We are missing some of the upgrades that he has, and he still doesn't have Enyo's Bow of Horror. He gets his cavalry onto this back line, and our Cyclops do what we really want them to do, which is just start destroying any buildings that we can, and he loses his army. But it's still a Hades base, so over here Hercules comes up, starts killing Cyclops really fast. Not good for us. The Cyclops pulls away at the last minute, and I micro a little slow there, slow reaction speed there. I think maybe we could have saved 1 extra Cyclops. They're all pretty low health just from pure Hades arrow fire, but whatever. He has to replenish his army. We keep a fair amount of ours. We've still got about a little more than twice as big of an army right now. Cyclops replenishment is on the way. I actually get another temple here to get these Cyclopses closer to the front. They're a little slow. We're up to 3 Cyclopses, and we're getting more cavalry in. I do get the upgrade for the cavalry because he seemed to have transitioned away from hoplites. And he is going into farms, and he's housed. So we are causing a dent here. Again, just an excess of wood. Oh, excuse me. Toxotes coming in. I could be making more toxotes. I finally get copper shields, which I think will... I think the main error of this game was, well, failing to get my temple up in the beginning was pretty bad, but other than that, the copper shields would have been huge. So we go in, we don't want him to mass too much. We've got 3 times the size of his army. We have some big upgrades now. And now it's kind of an archer battle where we do have the advantage on Cyclopses. More toxotes are coming in. We're housed now. More cavalry is being trained, and yeah, it's just getting over this housing problem. But I move forward, and now we have this kind of like front line of Cyclops which come in, and we just take a big fight here. We have Atalanta in the front there with the cavalry, which helps sort of set off the Cyclops advantage, and he's down to 1 Cyclops now. We still have 4, and that allows us to get on top of buildings. The Toxotes are in decent shape. Hercules isn't being microed properly, but I do want him to die. He's gonna kill at least 1 Cyclops, which I don't want. Nope, he doesn't get it. So now we're on top of the TC, and we're just barely managing to hold on, despite the fact that he's starting to get a pretty bad eco advantage. We just, through sheer army spam, to get ahead. And this TC is going to go down. Over here, these shades are really annoying. Hades is no joke attacking into. It's like full commitment. That's why I went Ares. You got to be full commitment. And there he goes. He surrenders. So yeah, I think. I don't know if. I think with the amount of time that I was behind by not making that temple, if he'd stayed on top of getting more villagers onto food to keep that villager production smooth and less onto wood, I think he would have won. And then I also think a little bit of walling, and then maybe the sentinel on this one. The sentinel over here, like, this is excessively defended. It already has the tower, so I think you should have saved that sentinel for this. And then I would have had to fight into those sentinels, and he wouldn't have had to spend money on towers over here. I think that sentinel choice was not ideal. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I can... Oh yeah, the other thing I kind of forgot to do was Pestilence. Which I don't know if Pestilence works against sentinels. If it does, maybe pushing this would have been a good idea. But yeah, I think I did a good job of maintaining map control. I didn't realize we were doing this. That's bad. So maybe I didn't do a good job. No, I did not. He was leaking out. I needed to stay on top of this. Just send like a scout or 2 over here to keep track of it. Because he still had this gold, but he was about to be out. Anyway, GG to P. Diddy. See you guys in the next one.